Our voyage begins with a journey into the heart of 17th century New England, where, in a little village called Salem, Puritan beliefs had a strong hold on the local community. This was an era of intense religiosity, where every action, every utterance, was scrutinized through the lens of a strict moral code. In plain terms, Puritanism is a strict form of Protestantism that emphasizes a rigid moral code, strict adherence to the Bible, and a suspicion of the supernatural. Puritanism shaped every aspect of your life in Salem. The fear of God's wrath was omnipresent, and deviations from religious norms were met with suspicion. Women, especially those who were outspoken or displayed nonconformist behavior, often found themselves on the fringes of society. In early 1692, something inexplicable began to grip Salem Village. A group of young girls, including Betty Paris and Abigail Williams, started to exhibit bizarre behavior. Fits, convulsions, and claims of being possessed by evil forces. This bewildering phenomenon sent shockwaves through the community. People were terrified, searching for an explanation to these strange occurrences. This atmosphere of panic, coupled with simmering conflicts and rivalries, created a perfect storm for the outbreak of witchcraft accusations. As fear swept through Salem, accusations of witchcraft were hurled at various individuals, often women, and occasionally men. These accusations were fueled by rumors, personal vendettas, and superstition. A deeply troubling aspect of the trials was the reliance on spectral evidence. The belief that a person's spirit could be present at a location even if their physical body was not. This quote-unquote evidence was used to condemn the accused, even though it lacked any tangible basis. The trials that followed were a mockery of justice. The accused were subjected to harsh and humiliating trials, where legal procedures were often ignored. The court proceedings were marked by a frenzied atmosphere, where emotions and irrational beliefs held more sway than reason. These court proceedings included a series of tests aimed at determining the guilt or innocence of the accused. The infamous dunking or swimming test involved binding an accused person's hands and feet and throwing them into water to see if they would float. This irrational method was rooted in the belief that a witch, who had supposedly renounced their baptism, wouldn't sink. Similarly, the touch test involved accusers convulsing and claiming to be in pain when in the presence of the accused, further perpetuating the hysteria. As the trials continued, the frenzy reached a horrifying crescendo. 20 individuals, including 14 women and 6 men, were executed by hanging. Among them were respected members of the community and even the elderly. The aftermath of the Salem witch trials was devastating. Families were torn apart, reputations were shattered, and an entire community was left in turmoil. It wasn't until 1693 that the trials were officially halted, as doubts began to emerge about the legitimacy of the proceedings. The court proceedings of the Salem witch trials stand as a chilling example of the havoc that can ensue when irrationality, prejudice, and hysteria override the principles of justice. The flawed legal framework, reliance on spectral evidence, tests of guilt or innocence, and coerced confessions all culminated in a tragic chapter of American history. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the Salem witch trials. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.